Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We will start in 2 minutes, and we hope that you could invite even more cooperators to join us this afternoon kasi this is for our learning, no? Ng mga, especially next year ay election na. So we need to be informed of the legislative agenda being presented and shared to us by our party list. So we will start in 2 minutes. Thank you. Yes, so there we go. We have 160 participants in our Zoom room and we shall wait for more, no? But before we start, we are also live sa ating Facebook page na Co-op Apex Facebook page. You can share the same. Yung mga hindi kaya sa Zoom mag-join, you can share our live streaming through Co-op Apex Facebook page. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat from our cooperators and leaders sa Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And I wouldn't be surprised kung meron din tayo from abroad. But before we start and we discuss, no, at makinig sa CNPL this afternoon, we are asking everyone to please join us as we go through our preliminaries, starting off with the prayer, Philippine National Anthem, to be followed by our COP pledge. So, Ms. Kath, can we start with our prayer?
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
May we ask everyone to please rise for the Philippine National Anthem. Thank you.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. the cooperative pledge. As a Filipino, I am and I believe in the cooperative. Alone I am weak, but with others I am strong. So I commit myself to work, to cooperate, for all to be prosperous. Harmony, industry, I will value. Cooperative affairs, I will attend. Responsibilities, I will assume. A cooperative philosophy, I will live. One vision, one belief, one feeling in cooperativism. My life I pledge, so help me God.
Yes, so magandang hapon po ulit. And this is, while voting is an expression of our commitment to ourselves, one another, this country, and this very world, as stated by the author Sharon Salzberg, it is an even greater commitment, no, para sa PCC na ma-inform tayong lahat sa very value ng ating vote, di ba? At with that, this is, I think, the fifth installment of this series of COOP Vote Seminar. And we are very glad that you're here with us. But before we proceed, may we just ask everyone to abide by these guidelines or house rules para mas maging harmonious po ang ating discussion this afternoon. So may we have the house rules, please? Yan. So house rules, this is for a better facilitation ng ating programa. Make sure that your internet connection, although maulan talaga, no, this whole week, maulan, that your connection is strong or at least stable, and you have a quiet working environment. And we highly encourage na gumamit po tayo ng headphones, earphones, with microphones para mas maganda yung dating sa atin ng sound, at when we speak later on, mas klaro din po. And with our Zoom names, kindly indicate your cooperative in acronym, such as yung example po natin dito, si Sir Edwin, it's PCC, and then your name, Edwin Bustillos, or PCC Cheska Ginto. And then for proper identification during our open discussion later on. Keep your audio on mute, and the host will only allow participants to unmute their microphone during the question and answer portion. Observe proper meeting decorum when you open your video, when you turn on your video or camera, kindly make sure that your attire is appropriate. During the Q&A, para mas mabilis din po namin kayo ma-identify, kindly use the raise hand button na makikita nyo po sa icons below your screen dun sa ating reactions. And lastly, please check your Zoom chat box for the attendance link that is being provided for by our secretariat. Nandyan lang po, i-refresh na po nila ngayon. Ayan. And for those who cannot access the attendance link, kindly provide the following details through chat. Your cooperative's name, your designation, and the contact number of your cooperative, and the official email address. The presentations and certificate of attendance shall be forwarded on the email address that has been provided to you that you have provided through the attendance form. So make sure na mag-attendance po tayo. So with that, to officially welcome us in our discussion this afternoon, may we have PUP, tinatawag siya para maging professor. Baka after this discussion this afternoon, tawagin din siya para tumakbong politiko. Hindi kaya. A very known leader in our sector. He is the vice chairperson of the Philippine Cooperative Center and a director at San Dionisio Credit Cooperative, also the chairperson of PCF, and a director of many, many more cooperatives in our sector. The very diligent and yet very down-to-earth leader, genuine leader of PCC, Sir Dr. Gary Leonardo. Vice Chair, good afternoon.
Paki-unmute po si Sir Gary.
Po, ayan. Good afternoon, Vice Chair Gary.
Yun, na-unmute sa wakas.
Akala ko ayaw niyo magsalita kasi sabi ko magpo-politiko ka na, sir.
Ayaw kong magsalita o ayaw niyo kong pagsalitain?
Sir.
Okay, so thank you, Cheska. At magandang hapon sa ating lahat. Sa ngalan ni Chair Lorette Ramiro at ng PCC ay nais ko kayong pasalamatan sa inyong pagtugon sa aming paanyaya sa ating Co-op Vote webinar ngayong hapon. Magandang hapon, Co-op NATCCO Party List President BFF Alex. I suppose nandito na siya, no?
Magandang hapon.
Magandang
Gary.
hapon.
Magandang hapon. Medyo bumata ka ngayon at
Dati
medyo
na.
humaba lang yung buhok mo ngayon.
Dati pa naman Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. BFF Alex. Ganun din kay VP for Luzon, Budoy. Kasama namin sa San Dionisio Credit Cooperative. Ganun din sa ating Vice President for Visayas na si Luz and Vice President for Mindanao na si Romy, no? Now, as the name suggests, our series of Co-op Vote webinars is aimed at strengthening and ensuring that the cooperative sector eventually gets a substantial representation in Congress, which will in turn, or hopefully in turn, facilitate our lobbying efforts for the cooperative sector, not only with the legislative, but also with the pertinent agencies in the executive branch of government. Kasi both branches of which we are looking at as our continuing partners in pushing for the sector's advocacy. Sa mga nakaraang webinar, may mga inimbitahan tayong mga representante from our different party list groups. Yun nga, itong Co-op NATCCO party list, ang AGAP party list, at ang Co-op Campi party list, no? Upang magbahagi sa atin ng kanilang mga ideya on how we can ensure yung tinagurian nating co-op vote. Pero ngayong hapon, particular nating kasama ang CNPL, ang Co-op NATCCO Party List, upang ibahagi ang mga karagdagang detalye sa magiging plataforma ng naturang party list group at ilang pang mga programa na kanilang tinitingnan, lalo na para sa kapakanan ng ating sektor. Especially now that we are looking ahead to the forthcoming elections next year. Kaya it would really be best if we can garner as much representation from next year's election as much as we can. But I think we should also set our sights beyond the political exercise next year to ensure that the sector's continuing presence, not only in the political arena na magiging lutang next year, but more importantly in both the legislative and executive branches of our government, as I mentioned earlier. But as to how we can go about it, specifically this afternoon from Co-op NATCCO Party List end, sa tingin ko, these are what we will listen to sa ating mga kasama from CNPL. So, having said that, ay muli magandang hapon sa ating lahat, and congratulations in advance to our nominees from Co-op NATCCO Party List. Congratulations as well to the other party list groups.
Thank you, Sir Gary. Ayan. Maaga, 1 year in advance or 10 months. But before we proceed dun sa platforms, programs, and before we listen to Co-op NATCCO Party List, no, let us hear from the CEO first of the Philippine Cooperative Center to give us a brief background as well as yung expectations na pwede nating iset as we go through this afternoon's discussion. So may we have, syempre kung ang chair nyo ay very diligent, CEO din na miski Sabado pumapasok. May we have Sir Edwin Bustillo. Sir, good afternoon.
Thank you, Ma'am Cheska. Thank you, Doc Gary, dun sa yung opening and welcome remarks. Welcome po, Co-op NATCCO Party List, particularly the President Manong Alex na nandito na po, at lahat po ng ating mga VPs. Of course, klaro po yung ating objectives today. Ang ating pong objectives today ay mas makilala pa natin lalo ang Co-op NATCCO Party List. Bagamat yung Co-op NATCCO Party List last week ay nagkaroon ng very successful Congress. And congratulations sa ating mga bagong nominees at saka President Alex, pakiparating po ang aming pagbati sa buong Co-op NATCCO Party List sapagkat sa panahon po ng pandemya, importante pa rin po na ang ating pong partido ay nagpapahayag ng kanyang intensyon ng patuloy na pagseserbisyo sa kooperatiba, sa sektor at sa kilusan sa pamamagitan ng paghahangad na makapasok muli sa 2022 party list election. Kaya po ngayong hapon na ito, bibigyan po natin ng premium yung pagpapaliwanag palalo ng cooperative sa mga kooperatiba ng Co-op NATCCO Party List. Importante rin po na tayo po sa Co-op NATCCO Party List at yung ating mga miyembro ay maintindihan bakit po tayo magpa-participate sa election. Baka ho magandang tingnan din natin, baka yung ating mga members ay hindi pa rehistrado o kung rehistrado man ay parang wala akong ganang bumoto. So magandang ma-check po natin yan. Kaya po ngayon mabilis na pagpapahayag na bakit kailangan tayong mag-participate sa election. Pangatlo, yung sa totoo lang po, ang Co-op NATCCO Party List, nung ipinanganak po yung batas, ito po yung Party List Law in 1996, kung di ako nagkakamali, at nagkaroon po ng implementation in 1998. Since 1998, and that is the 11th Congress, ay meron na po palaging representatives na nanggagaling sa Co-op NATCCO. In 1998, in 2001, although nagkaroon ng ilang issues. Tapos meron po ulit tayo noong 2004, 2007, 2010, 2013, 2016, 2019. Hindi po nawawala ang Co-op NATCCO Party List sa Kongreso. Nagkakaroon po ng pagpapalit ng mga representante, pero mismo yung partido ay nananatili doon sa August Hall of Chambers, na tinatawag natin sa lower house. Kaya po ngayong araw na ito, kailangan natin muling iparating sa ating mga leader and hopefully mag-cascade po ito sa ating mga members and hopefully mag-cascade po doon sa mga pamilya ng ating mga miyembro. Bakit kailangan manatili ang Co-op NATCCO Party List sa loob ng Kongreso at hindi lamang isa ang upuan, hindi lamang dalawa ang upuan, kundi kunin yung 3 upuan. So, ang Co-op NATCCO Party List po, ang kanyang present tagline ay ang tinig ng kooperatiba na nire-represent po nito ang cooperatives in the past several congresses na. Sabi ko nga kanina, mula pa noong 11th Congress na nagkaroon ng party list law. Of course, ating pong binibigyan ng recognition ang representation ni Kong Ben Canama o Congressman Sabiniano Ben Canama nitong 18 Congress para po doon sa ating advokasya at patuloy na pagsulong ng interes ng co-op sector at maisama o ma-include at ma-empower ang ating mga co-op leaders through series of consultation and fora. At saksi po tayong lahat doon sa mga consultations na ginawa ng ating partido, ng Co-op NATCCO Party List, ay nag-produce po ng mga policy formulations and policy recommendations, whether yan ay sa legislative arena or executive arena na naipatupad po natin ngayong 18th Congress. Marami po yan at ang COOP NATCCO po ang magpapaliwanag tungkol yan. Siyempre, ang COOP NATCCO po ay nung pinanganak ang United Cooperative Movement of the Philippines, ang isa sa mga nanguna doon sa pag-create ng cooperative sector or movement plan para po doon sa 2021 to 2030 actually. At tayo po yung nag-draft ng Cooperative Sector Strategic Development Plan na eventually po nakasama na rin po natin ang National Cooperative Development Council sa pangunguna ni Chair Lucy Furo. Tapos nakasama na rin po natin ang National President ng League of Cooperative Development Officers ng Pilipinas. At from time to time, may partnership po tayo sa NATCCO Cooperative Sectoral Council na sa panahon po ngayon ay pinangungunahan po ni Sectoral Representative Ronnie Talisik. Kaya po malaki yung naging role ng COOP NATCCO Party List doon sa pag-unify ng movement. At saksi po kayo dyan mamaya-maya pag nagbigay na po ng mga lessons learned sa electoral engagement ng COOP NATCCO Party List. So mabilis lamang po ito bago po natin tuluyang ipasa ang room sa ating mga resource speakers. Gusto lamang po nating ipahayag muli bakit po tayo kailangan makilahok sa eleksyon. Okay. Of course, itong electoral strategy na pre-present po ay bahagi po ng mga naging pag-uusap na. Pero siyempre may kanya-kanya pong electoral strategy ang mga political parties at alam po yan ng COOP NATCCO. Pero siyempre, ang pinaka-importante rito, bakit tayo kailangan makialam sa eleksyon? So, pinaliwanag na ho natin ito sa maraming pagkakataon natin ng mga nakalipas na co-op vote orientation. Lahat tayo ay apektado ng mga batas na nililikha ng Kongreso. Pare-pareho ang ating mga problema. May mga issues na nanggagaling sa mga patakaran ng gobyerno na kailangan nating makialam, kagaya sa BIR at iba pa. May mga patakaran ang gobyerno na kailangan nating igiit yung agenda natin na maisama sa legislative agenda ng Kongreso at executive agenda ng mga national government agencies and government financial institutions. At dahil po marami po ang ating bilang, in fact, may natisod po kaming document, pinadala ko sa akin ni Noel Dolor, isa po sa mga writer ng PCC, na noong 1991 pa ho pala, even before the party list election, tinitingnan na ang cooperative vote, I mean yung cooperatives, ay isang force to reckon with. Lalo na kung magagamit natin yung ating numerical superiority para makapagpaluklok ng mga leaders natin sa Kongreso o kahit sa gobyerno. At that time, nung sinulat pong yung article na yun, ang members pa lang ho ng kooperatiba is around 7 to 8 million. So if that is the numbers na pinag-uusapan at that time noong 1991 at pumasok po ang COOP NATCCO in 1998 at nakakuha ng isang seat, marami pa po tayong assignment na gagawin. Sapagkat if we want 3 seats for COOP NATCCO at yung iba pang mga party list na makakuha, na cooperative party list na makakuha ng upuan, gamitin po natin yung ating numero. At yan po yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Siyempre, hindi po ibig sabihin na nakialam tayo sa eleksyon, tapos na. Hindi po. Una, kailangan nating makialam sa eleksyon, mag-participate, makisama sa mga activities na papatawag ng halimbawa ng COOP NATCCO Party List para po dun sa kampanya na gagawin nito, sa pagpapalawig ng mga areas na kung saan pwedeng magbigay pa ng mga diskusyon at pagpapakilala sino ang COOP NATCCO Party List. Ito yung malaking bahagi ng electoral engagement sa panahon ng eleksyon. Pero sa totoo lang, ang malaking papel ng pakikialam po natin sa eleksyon ay yung paggobyerno. Paano po yung kooperatiba na pag nakapagluklok po tayo ng mga kagaya ng COOP NATCO party list ay magsisilbi po sa interes ng kanyang sektor o ng mga mamayan sa kabuuan. Kaya po napansin ninyo, pagkatapos po muli maluklok ng COOP NATCO party list nung 18 Congress noong 2019, right after na maging committee chair si Congressman Ben Canama, immediately kabi-kabila ang mga consultations, kabi-kabila ang mga meetings, kabi-kabila ang pagpapatawag ng mga hearings para ibalik muli ang paggogobyerno sa kooperatiba. Ganyan po yung ine-expect natin dito. Sapagkat ang maluluklok po ng mga party list representatives natin ay katuwang natin sa pagpapalakas ng buong kilusan. Kaya po tayo dapat mag-participate sa election. Okay. Sa ngayon, bibigyan na po natin ng espasyo ang COOP NATCO party list para po doon sa kanilang electoral engagement, legislative agenda, ano po yung nakikita ng ating COOP NATCO party list sa susunod na mga panahon pag naluklok uli ang COOP NATCO sa 2022 at siyempre pagpapakilala na rin kung sino yung mga nominees na inelect ng party during the last Congress. So, ibibigay po natin ang room ngayon sa COOP NATCO party list. So, Ma'am Cheska, to introduce po yung ating COOP NATCO party list, please proceed.
Yes, sir. So, actually, I will just introduce the national president, no, who's been with us for the past 4 installments of this seminar. So he is the current chairperson of Santa Cruz Savings and Development Cooperative, also the chairperson of Ilocos Consolidated Cooperative Bank, and a former chairperson of NORLUCIDEC or Northern Luzon Cooperative Development Center of Baguio City, and a 2017 awardee of National Co-op Leadership that was awarded by CDA Gawad Parangal Awards, and also an advocate of cooperative good governance, financial literacy, gender equality champion. So without any further ado, may we have the president of COOP NATCO party list, Sir Alex Raquepo. Sir Alex, good afternoon.
Magandang hapon at maraming salamat ulit, Cheska, sa inyong pakilala. Magandang hapon din kay Edwin at sa aking BFF na si Gary, ang dalawang pangulo ng Philippine Cooperative Center. Magandang hapon din sa aking mga kasama sa COOP NATCO party list, especially the 3 vice presidents. Tignan niyo po, meron kaming vice presidents in each island. Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And of course, my greetings to all the cooperative leaders in attendance. At this early stage, we would like to express our sincerest gratitude again to the Philippine Cooperative Center for giving us this opportunity and for inviting us, of course, in this important event for us to educate our own selves. Why are we in politics? They say politics and cooperative doesn't mix. I say they are wrong. Because have you ever seen a political figure in your community na pag sila ay gumawa ng negosyo, napakadaling gumawa ng permit? Ang kooperatiba ang magnanegosyo, nako kahirap at kadami ng mga papeles pwedeng kunin. Kuryente na lang. Magpakabit ka ng kuryente dito sa probinsya. Pagka ikay ordinaryong kooperatiba na tulad namin, it will take months. Pero negosyo ng isang politiko, nako sila pa ang pupunta, di kakabit. Ayan. So that's just an introduction. And I would like to share screen to you my presentation. And it will be very short because our 3 vice presidents, namely for Visayas, si Ma'am Luz Irinco, was also a CEO of a big co-op in Region 8. And then for Luzon would be Renato Budoy de la Cruz, who is a board of director of Mighty San Dionisio Cooperative in Parañaque. And Engineer Romeo Manzano, who is an officer of the MSU, Mindanao State University IIT National Cooperative. Okay. So, share screen ko lang ito. Kita na ba? Yan.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Good afternoon again. And this is my presentation. I am Alex, or as they fondly call me. I am a co-op leader just like you. And I have been with Co-op NATCCO party list ever since it was organized. Okay. So why are we in politics? This has always been the biggest question that we always ask. It's actually a frequently asked question. And let me share to you the 5 P's. Yan, ay hindi nakita yung nasa baba. 5 P's why we are in politics. Number 1 is protection. We want to protect our rights, privileges, and benefits as enshrined in the Philippine Cooperative Code. Grabe, I cannot imagine our district representative who owns banks, owns businesses, who owns construction firms, will do the cudgel of protecting us in the House of Representatives. I think we'll only promise that during election. In the past, have you ever seen your district representative filed a bill that is for cooperatives? We do not still have any statistics on that. Number 2 is participation. We want to actively participate in the crafting of laws and policies, especially for us. I cannot imagine somebody who is not a member of a cooperative, who is not even an officer of a cooperative, that will craft laws in our behalf. Parang napakahirap tinan. But when we ourselves are with inside and doing cooperative activities, maybe it's going to be easier, more responsive yung gagawin nating law, bill, or policy. So whether it be in the halls of Congress or with government line agencies, especially the CDA. If you could notice, there's been many rounds done by CDA in consulting with us regarding memorandum circulars that they plan to craft, formulate, and publish. Partnership. We want government. We are worthy and trustable partner in delivering projects in the different regions of our country. Sana swerte yung Parmali. Sana tayo na lang yung partner ng government. Tiba yung kinita ng Parmali doon. Di ba? I think kung meron man lang magaling at wala naman silang puhunan, mas malaki nga ang puhunan natin eh. Isa yung Parmali na yun. Di ba? Parang sila ay bridge lang. My point is, government funds can be entrusted to us. And we will show them that not a single centavo is going to get lost. Or there will be anomalies in the implementation of projects. And we have proven that in the past years. Diba? Number 4 is positioning. We want a spot in our economic sector. We want a place that it should be recognized. We want to be recognized as an important economic agent for the non-bankable and poorer sectors of our society. That is initiatives by the cooperative sector be listed and included in our economic data. Sabi ko nga, tago kong inuulit, yung mga State of the Nation addresses of our presidents Have they included us in their speeches? Have they mentioned cooperatives? Have done this and done that? I think it is our time to be recognized because we have done a lot. Nga pinagsama-sama natin yung ginawa natin, dinonate natin, yung mga tulong, yung mga pagkain, yung mga medical supplies na binigay natin sa ating mga frontliners and poorer sector of our communities, I think it's going to matter a lot. Sabi ko nga, bibigay lang yung isang politiko, may daladalang 100 bags of rice. Grabe yung one. Grabe yung pictures na ginagawa. Mamaya nasa dyaryo na. Tayo wala. Diba? And number 5 is political empowerment. And we want to be a force reckoned with. Sabi nga ni Edwin kanina, we always say that we have a cooperative vote and we are a force to reckon with. But we have not realized that for the past congresses that we have participated in. When we say we are politically empowered, isa ang boses natin, we're so unified that nobody can break us. We become a really force to reckon with. Okay. So ito yung 5 why we are in politics. You might have others in mind. These are the things that co-op, NATCCO party list have in mind at the moment. You can always add on later. Okay, ang co-op NATCCO party list was organized sometime in 1996 by the NATCCO network. I am sure everybody knows the NATCCO network. It's the National Confederation of Cooperatives. It's a federation of cooperatives that covers the whole of the Philippines. And it is based in Quezon City. So to the efforts of the board of directors then, during that time, they have initiated the organization of co-op NATCCO party list. In 1998, that was the first time we participated and we have won since then. We are composed of around 800 primary co-ops, discounting the federations and unions who have joined us. And 71 provincial and highly urbanized cities, chapters all over the Philippines. We are increasing. 71 is just temporary number, and we hope to increase once the election comes near. National Party Assembly is the highest body in our structure, and our national directorates. Our national directorate is composed of 9 per ilan regions. So siyam sa Luzon, siyam sa Visayas, siyam sa Mindanao. Then we select from among ourselves is going to be the president. Our national directorate is headed by a party president and 3 vice presidents representing Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. We also maintain an executive committee that meets every month, while the ND meets once in 2 months. But with the coming of the election, we need to meet monthly. This is just showing you, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow co-op leaders, that co-op NATCCO party list follows the guidelines promulgated by COMELEC. I think we're the only true blue party list that has organizations in every region and province in the Philippines. Yung mga ibang party list, probinsya lang yan. Coverage nila. Yung iba, region nga lang eh. Pero nanalo pa rin sila. Ayo, we cover the whole of the Philippines. Konti yung boto natin. Okay. So our national party headquarters is located in Metro Manila, and we have a national party secretariat headed by our Secretary General. We have won at least 1 seat since we participated in 1998. It's the 11th Congress. I will show you the list later. Highest we have garnered was almost gave us 3 seats, was 945,000 votes. Kulang-kulang na lang 1 million. And that was in 2010 election. Pero from 2010 to 2019, bumaba, drastically went down. We were very instrumental of the passage of RA 9520, RA 11364, extension of the Corporate Life Plan Bank, and many others. This will be reported by our Vice President for Visayas later on. We have formulated our strategic plan. Yan. Sino ba sa mga party list natin ang mayroong strategic plan ngayon? Siguro iilan lang. Isa doon ang co-op party list. We have a central fund management system that is headed by our party treasurer. And we come up with monthly financial statement. Parang kooperatiba talaga. Meron kaming monthly financial statements. Tapos, meron din kaming internal auditor. Our party treasurer is the CEO of Maspec in Cagayan de Oro. And our internal auditor is no less than CEO of San Dionisio Cooperative in Parañaque. The consultative process is well intense in our operating system so that before our representative or representatives make a vote in the halls of Congress or file a bill, is to properly consult it with our general membership at the most sector. We conduct our National Party Congress every years. So we had our Party Congress last September. What's that? September. This week of September.
September 10 po.
Yeah, September 10. Thank you. That was the 6th Congress that we have had. Okay. We have our own nomination rules. Ang maganda sa nomination rules namin sa COOP NATCCO party list ay cyclical. Ano yung cyclical? Ang cyclical ngayon ay Visayas, Luzon, and Mindanao. Susunod for 2022 election. Pero ngayon, ang seasoning ngayon present is Mindanao, Visayas, and Luzon. So, cyclical process, but recently we have amended our constitution and bylaws, and we are now allowing 3 terms subject to certain conditions and performance check. Yan. So, pwede na silang makumpleto yung 9 years. So this is subject to certain conditions and performance check. Okay? So ito po, 1998 up to 2019. If you could notice, 189,000 nung 11. Tumaas naman nung 2001, 136,000. Tumaas naman nung 2004, 170. Tumaas naman nung 2007, 109. Talagang tumaas noble nung 2010. Pero nung 2013, bumaba. Tumaas ng konti nung 2016, tapos biglang bumagsak 2019. So, you could see there's no consistency. Medyo erratic. Maybe there are many reasons behind. One of the many reasons is that there seems to be a growing number of party list accredited by COMELEC. Siyempre, pagka mas maraming party list, mas na-scatter yung ating co-ops na sinasabi. So we are a dynamic party list empowering cooperative communities. This is our vision statement. And this is our major purposes or mga pangunahing layunin: participate in governance, unify and help develop the co-op sector, increase participation and contribution of co-ops in national development. Yan, tugmang-tugma ito sa mga sinabi ko kanina na why are we in politics. Create a co-op forum as a venue to exchange, consult, and advocate co-op concerns. And we would like to state, and we're so proud, Congressman Savignano Ben Canama our present representative, has done excellent and a very excellent job in really making us, the cooperative sector, closer to government agencies. Grabe yung mga dialogues and forums that COOP NATCCO through Ben have initiated. And place deserving COOP leaders to government positions. It's just yet to be realized that if we are really a power na force to reckon with, madali na lang tayong magluklok ng mga totoong cooperative leaders sa mga posisyon in government. So what are our learnings in previous election? Let me just say the party list law is an innovative mechanism enshrined in the 1987 Constitution. It aims to assure various sectors in the Philippine society, particularly the disadvantaged group, representation in lawmaking. Problema, may mga samahan ng security guard, hindi naman security guard yung nagre-represent. May mga samahan ng mga drivers, hindi naman driver yung nagre-represent. They're making a mockery out of our party list law. Marginalized ones, voices shall be heard. 20%, only 50 seats ang nakareserba sa atin. Kaya lahat-lahat ng mga representatives in the halls of Congress na sinusweldohan ng taong bayan ay 300. For A7941 po ang ating party list law. But I think this has been many times subjected to amendments, pero it is always rejected. As experience, our party list system is full of controversies, ambiguities, which needed judicial intervention. Okay, what were our lessons in the past election? I will use the acronym CATER. C stands for captured votes. It doesn't exist. In our experience at COOP NATCCO party list, this doesn't exist. Punta ka sa isang kooperatiba, mag-attend ka ng General Assembly, sasabihin mo, let's all vote for COOP NATCCO for our sector. Mamaya, 3 lang, 10 lang ang bumoto sa buong assembly. Kaya grabe, wala talagang captured votes. And I think we need to change this mindset. Dapat talaga may captured votes. Isa pa rason, COOP membership cuts across all sectors. May mga senior citizen, may mga guro, may mga drivers, ayan. Inuuna nila yung sektor nila. Kaya ang tanong ko nga sa kanila, ano ba naitulong na ng party list na sinuportahan nyo? Diba? Buti nga sa atin, ang napakalaking tulong natin, yung tax exemption at saka yung mga pribileho natin, kinukuha. Being a member of a cooperative. Solid cooperative sector vote did not exist in the previous election. I think we should have something that should change this one, and let's be real. Meron talagang captured votes. Awareness level, eto, mababa pa ang awareness level. How are the party lists selected and accredited by COMELEC? What is their specific role in Congress? How are they organized? How do they select nominees and representatives among many others? Ayan. Awareness level natin sa party list, wala. Pero aware na aware tayo sa ating mga district congressmen, congresswoman, congressperson. Traditional politics election still exists, ladies and gentlemen. Meron pa rin vote buying. Padrino, kamag-anak system, 3Gs, endorsed by a political clan, backed up by mayor, governor, takutan, election irregularities, cheating, among many others. So, eto para tayong tumabak at sa isang marumuing tubig. Sometimes it's so hard to get out. Diba? And this is still rampant. And you can notice that. Sabi nga nila ngayon, sigurado by the election of 2022, may kakaroon pataas ang ating inflation. Maraming pera ang lalabas. Inflation rate will be higher. Prices of commodities will also be increased. And definitely pati presyo daw na mga boto itataas din. Baka hindi nila i-accept yung 500. Diba? So saan kukuha ang mga party list like COOP NATCCO party list in that instance? The only way for us to do that is to really push somebody or push a party list that we believe in can really depend us in Congress. Expensive. Nako, kailangan ng sako-sakong pera. Sorry for the word I use, but I just quoted this in one popular politician who said kailangan ng sako-sakong pera, ay magdadala daw ng sako-sakong pera. Need a campaign group to distribute flyers, yung daily food, snacks, rent, etc., donations to this and that. Hindi man ka nakukunin ninong, pati kasalan, sa binyag, pati burol. Pero ngayon, hindi na siguro dahil may COVID. So, the point is, participating in an election, whether it be party list or the regular district representatives, or even in your localities, it's really expensive. If you don't have the money, don't try it because you would definitely lose in the election. Responsiveness level of our voters is still very low. It's general impression that party lists are lesser of influence, but sabi ni Atty. Mariel ng Committee on Co-ops sa House, hindi daw kasi tumataas na rin ang mga performance ng ating party list representatives. Voters turnout is a dismal 34%. 34% lang ang bumoto para sa party list system in previous election. So this is a very low record. Dapat tataas ito. So our proposed major moves for the next 3 years. Una is to campaign and operating funds build up. So campaign funds build up, operating funds build up. And COOP NATCCO party list leadership is trying to find ways on how to really increase, sustain, and sustainably our funds, operating funds. We cover the whole of the Philippines, ladies and gentlemen, and this is not an easy task. Really fun activities and programs of COOP. Nationwide presence. We would like to see that CNPL is present in every municipality, city, province in the Philippines. Where there are cooperatives, there is COOP NATCCO party list. That is a big thing for us. Where there are cooperatives, there is COOP NATCCO party. Party building and governance. This is to ensure fairness, accountability, and transparency in our governance processes. Transparency in our fiscal management, accountability in our leadership setup, and fairness in our decision making. So, as I have said a while back, we have the our National Party Congress as the highest governing body in our structure. Legislative advocacy initiatives. We would like to implement the bottoms-up approach, getting it from everyone, getting it from you, getting it from the smallest cooperative on what type of legislative proposal would they want so that it will be very responsive to present. And the other L is linkages, development, and sustainability. This has been one of the forte, if I may say, or good and excellent moves that have been done by COOP NATCCO party list, bringing the government line agencies nearer to cooperatives. Kaya tignan nyo, I think everyone have attended one or two meetings with GOL, DTI, DIR, DDA, DSWD, ILG, among many others. Department of Agriculture too. Okay, so with that, maraming salamat po at susunod ko na po ang aming Vice President for Visayas, si Ma'am Luz Iringco, para dagdagan ang aking inuulat po sa hapon na ito. Maraming salamat po. So, Ma'am Luz, yes. Ma'am Luz of Visayas, Luz Tingko.
Okay,
Our-
thank you for unmuting me finally. Good afternoon, everyone. So today is indeed the day that the Lord has made. I am going to present to you the milestones, and I would like to start with the best milestone of CNPL, which is the emerging transformation of the CNPL leadership from autocratic leadership to open-minded democratic leadership, and very recently to selfless servant leadership. This leadership sparked when Kong Ben Kanama demonstrated last September 10, 2021, the unselfish leadership with his decision to forego the once-in-a-lifetime privilege of a third term granted by the party courtesy of his sterling performance as CNPL representative in Congress for barely 2 terms. His gesture changed the landscape of how the CNPL nominees and leaders must align with this several bars higher standard of leadership. Thus, in effect, the conversations in the past of I, myself, and mine is now effectively changed to we, us, and ours. The language long time ago embodied in our COOP principles, yet not being practiced and articulated in our COOP pledge. Therefore, the direction of the CNPL moving forward is a unified, empowered, and determined to stand, be counted, to work for the common good of the cooperative movement. I started with this because this is not in my presentation, in as much as this is a very recent development, positive development in the party. So let me start my presentation. Please share screen with a special mention that there are activities which the PCC generously collaborated with the COOP NATCCO party list that brought forth success for the sector. So the biggest headache that we have had since time immemorial is with the BIR. The party list with PCC conducted several meetings, both physical, virtual, from the central office down to the regional offices, which resulted in the promulgation of BIR Memorandum Circular number 124-2020, issued November 25, 2020, clarifying certain provisions of Revenue MIBO number 76-2010 in relation to the joint rules and regulations implementing Article 60, 61, and 144 of Republic Act 9520. And very importantly, is on the question and answer on the stability of cooperatives that made our doubts, the doubts with the regional offices, very clear in such a manner that highlighted are our rights on our tax exemptions, which is now reflected in this memorandum circular that we will always invoke whenever assessments are made to us, which we feel and we can defend should not be the case. In fact, there are already cooperatives in Region 8, as we made our rounds, using this memorandum circular that reduced assessments from 8 million, from 80 million, to a bare 3 million. So in effect, the sweat that we exerted, the party list and PCC exerted together, are bearing fruits for the cooperative sector. Under the local government, we also had representations, meetings with the LGU, where there was a reiteration of the provisions in the local government code on co-ops, free taxes, and minimum fees of 1,500. As observed by many cooperatives, the tax treatment as far as business permits and business taxation is concerned and the local government are equal in terms of the amount of how we are being assessed with that of the businessmen. So with the dialogue, we are now assured that the LGUs are being reminded that their treatment of cooperatives should not be in equal footing with the businessmen, because we have the provisions of the local government code that exempts us from business taxes. So I hope this is going to be a great help to the cooperatives who had long been suffering from excessive assessments from local government. We also had meetings with the Department of Agriculture, where our first action was to lift the portfolio at risk requirement to accessing loans with government institutions. Because with the pandemic, inevitably, the portfolio is really damaged. And if we are true to our portfolio at risk in these times, definitely it's more than the par is so far that we will not qualify. However, with our dialogue, they were able to lift the par requirements during this pandemic. We also had able to lower the interest rates on banks as far as the co-ops are concerned. We also had the implementation of Plan ISDA from BIFAR that would access from producers, the value chain where our cooperatives can come in at whatever stage it may be, from production to consumption. So the Plan ISDA is indeed a very important factor in the pandemic, because we are able to supply the needed nutrients in terms of cheaper fish products directly distributed by the cooperatives to their members. And we also were able to access from the farm machineries, Philippine machineries, Center for Post-Harvest Development and Mechanization, a lot of farm equipments. On the TESDA, we also had meetings and come up with an allocation for trainings within the budget for co-ops. In Luzon, the NATCCO will be the one downloading the services of free trainings. In the Visayas, Victo, and Mindanao, MASPE. This is a first, where TESDA is now offering budget for the cooperatives training. We also had several conversations, several meetings with Land Bank, which was primarily to reduce the interests on loans of cooperatives, and not only that, to relax some requirements so that truly the cooperatives can access loans from Land Bank. And very important development for our transport sector is the link that was established between the transport cooperative with the LTO and LTFRB. There is now a strong partnership with LTO and LTFRB to relax very strict rules and regulations for the sector transport cooperatives. And in addition, we are now talking with financing concerns that will ease up the burden of the transport cooperative, which may the finance cluster and the banks, cooperative banks may come in to their rescue. And then we were able to access and availment of TUPAD program as well as pangkabuhayan program with the Department of Labor and Employment. We were able to access funds that will help our members with the pandemic to cope with the needs of the pandemic. Also with the Department of Health for the availment of hospitalization budget per province now. In effect, the party list has listened to the clamor of the members that they are not admitting themselves to regional hospitals. So what was once downloaded to the regional hospitals were not availed of because most of our members are admitted in provincial hospitals. Therefore, listening to the needs of the COOP members, Kong Ben's office had budget downloaded directly to the provincial hospitals. We also had meetings with the DSWD for the availment of the Social Amelioration Program or the SAP, assistance on scholarship, death benefits, assistance, hospitalization, dialysis of some members. We, as a party list, strengthened the leaders in the co-op sector, putting forward at the same time the relevance of the co-op NATCCO party list to co-ops as a voice and as an important link to government services.
Thank you, Ma'am Luz. Bagsakan po natin na maraming puso si Ma'am Luz.
Yeah.
Okay, Sir Alex, I think you will be the next speaker.
Ang susunod naman, paki-reserve na lang po kung may mga issues o concerns po kayo. Ang susunod po naman ngayon ay ang aming Vice President for Luzon. Walang iba kundi si Renato Budoy de la Cruz. Have the floor, Budoy.
Maraming salamat po, President Alex. Magandang hapon po sa atin lahat, sa ating pong sa organizer ng ating pong event ngayon, ang PCC, sa pangunguna po ni Chairperson Sir Loret, at nandiyan din po yung ating Vice Chair, yung pong aking malapit na kamag-anak, si Doc Gary Leonardo. Pinsan ko po yan eh. Medyo matalino siya talaga sa akin, pero mas cute ako ng konti sa kanya. Siyempre po si Sir Edwin.
Yan ang sabi mo, ha?
Cute nga lang ng konti, hindi naman pogi, cute lang. Cute. Sa hindi po nakakaalam, parehas po kami magkasama sa SDCC. Ako po yung pumalit po sa kanya. Siya po ay aming chairperson for 7 years. Pinalitan ko po saglit at siya na naman po uli ngayon. Talagang napakahirap pong palitan ng isang napakahusay na chairperson. Kaya siya ho uli. Pinamana ko ho uli sa kanya. At siyempre kasama po rin namin sa SDCC ang auditor ng Co-op NATCCO Party List, ang aming pong CEO, ang ating pong hanggang ngayon ay dalaga pa rin na si Binibining Shelito Gartido. Okay, so magsisimula na po ako. Si Ma'am Doc May, pwede pong paki-share po yung ating presentation sa legislation. Doc Mai, please. Ano nangyari? So habang
Wala na BP Budoy kasi mas cute ka kamo kay Gary kaya yan tignan mo.
Sabotahe,
Sinasabotahe.
Sinabotahe ka na.
Cute. Hindi pogi, cute. Okay, so simulan ko na po. Ito naman ay ayan na po. So, siyempre po sa isang party list, ang main na function ay tungkol ang paggagawa po ng batas. Kaya nga po tayo ay naging tinig sa Kongreso, hindi lamang po upang magbigay ng mga privilege speech, kung hindi makapag-enact ng law. So to begin with, I would like to present to you the laws that have been done by the COOP NATCCO party list through the initiative of our good congressman, Ben Canama. These laws were established through the impeccable dedication and communication of our party with the members of the cooperative sector. We conducted a wide array of orientations, meetings, consultations, and discussion for us to effectively come up with laws that both supplement the needs of our sector and serve their purpose. Ayan po, lagi po natin kasama ang PCC po sa ating consultations. Kaya nga po, katulad po ng sinabi kanina ni Sir Edwin at ni Sir Alex, nung maging chairperson po ng Committee on Cooperatives sa House of Representatives ang ating pong good Congressman Ben Canama, ay talaga hong napakaraming mga meetings, maraming consultation po ang nagawa. Kaya nakapag-enact po tayo ng mga batas. At isa na nga po dito, ang ating pong RA 9520, yung the Philippine Cooperative Code of 2008, RA 10744, yung ating pong Credit Surety Fund of 2015, RA 11364, Cooperative Development Authority of 2019, at RA 11535, an act making the position of Cooperative Development Officer mandatory in the city, municipal, and provincial levels. Hindi, alam naman po natin kasi na hindi porket may kooperatiba sa isang lugar ay mayroong cooperative development officer. So kaya ipinasa po natin yung batas po na yan. And of course, yung ating RA 11502, an act declaring month of October as National Cooperative Month. Meron din po tayo yung ating pong 11525, yung pong an act expediting the purchase of and administration of vaccines for the protection against the coronavirus disease of 2019. Meaning, kung ano po yung napapanahon, hindi lang kailangan din po nating gumawa ng batas ukol po doon. Meron din pong RA 11524, an act creating the Coconut Farmers and Industry Trust Fund. So, ang sinasabi po natin na dahil nga po ang miyembro o ang kasapi ng kooperatiba ay iba't ibang sektor, kaya nararapat din lang na mag-enact tayo ng law na para po sa mga farmers, sa fisher folk, sa transport, at hindi lamang po ukol sa magawaing pagkooperatiba. Other than these laws, we were able to pass House resolutions commending the cooperatives and federations. Ayan po, nandiyan po sa ating screen, yung mga kinoment po natin ng mga cooperatives and federations. Naalala ko po noong 2018, kasama po kami, isa po kami sa mga naging awardee, ang San Dionisio Credit Cooperative, kasama po si Kagari sa House of Representatives. At meron din po tayo mga priority bills na nakapasa na po, at ito po yung ang isa po rito, yung House Bill 2435, yun pong an act providing the creation of Co-op Banking Act na gusto ko lang pong mabanggit din sa inyo, nung ating pong 6th National Congress, sinabi po ng ating chairperson ng Committee on Cooperative sa Senate na si Senator Nick Subiri na ipaprioritize niya po ito, at kung hindi man po maihabol ngayong Congress po na ito, ay sa susunod po na Congress, kung siya po ay papalarin, na sinasabi natin na very supportive naman po tayo sa kanya. At meron din po tayong an act mandating yung House Bill 2650, an act mandating the representation of cooperatives in the Board of Directors of LBP. At marami pa ho tayong mga priority bills na nandiyan po sa screen po natin na ating pong ipupush ng husto, kung hindi man po maihabol ngayon ay sa susunod na Congress. So, ganyan lang po yung aking presentation, at dito lang po nagpapatunay na ang ating pong COOP NATCCO party list ay siyang tunay na tinig ng kooperatiba sa Kongreso. Muli po, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Maraming salamat, VP Budoy. So pinakita niya yung mga legislative efforts and proposals that we will have in the succeeding congresses. Okay, so at this point naman po, tatawagin natin ang Vice President for Mindanao. Walang iba kundi si Engineer Romeo Manzano. So, Engineer, you have the floor, please. Your presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Press. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And also, I would like to thank also the leadership of Philippine Cooperative Center. Nandyan si Sir Gary, si Sir Ed, at saka sa ating lahat ngayon, ngayong hapon, magandang hapon. Now, mine is just yung mga detalye ng sinasabi ng ating butihing presidente, at saka yung dalawang VPs na si Sir Budoy na very cute, at saka yung very intelligent, at saka magandang VP namin sa Visayas, Ma'am Luz. Now, ano ba talaga, before going to my report, ano ba talaga ang agenda, ang pakay ng ating CNPL? Kaya hindi na ako magpatumpik-tumpik. Sa ngayon pa lang, I will be campaigning to support the COOP NATCCO party list because of this agenda. Ang first agenda natin na siguro na isabi na ng ating presidente, itong institutionalizing legislative and policy reforms in the government to support cooperative and marginalized sector. Ang pangalawa, itong mobilizing government resources to promote cooperative development and address the concern of marginalized sector. Ang pangatlo, strengthening co-op government partnership and participation of cooperative in the government. Kaya bumubuo tayo ng isang CNPL team na ang ating meaning noon is C for commitment, N for nationalism, P for professionalism, loyalty, T for transparency, E for empowerment, A for accessibility, M for membership, participation, and control. Now, nandoon ang sinasabi natin sa meaning ng T, transparency. Nandoon din sa ating agenda ang partnership with the government. That is why we are very transparent in our activities and our endeavors in the cooperative para malaman ng ating mga kasama sa kooperatiba na we are very serious and passionate to address all the concerns and needs of the cooperative. Ito siguro makikita ninyo na mga projects at mga programs ng gobyerno na siguro na napaibigay na natin. We already distributed some of these, some are implemented, and some are not yet implemented. Now, pwede siguro Ma'am Doc Mai, isa-isahin natin. This is 28 slides. Kung pwede, mauna tayo sa Region 1. Doon sa pinakadulo para makita nila na what we are doing. First, yung sinasabi ni Ma'am Luz at saka Sir Budoy na yung mga tulong natin sa DOH. For this year alone, kasi pag for so many years, nung nag-umpisa si Congressman Kanama, binigay na ito. Pero for this year, for Region 1, we have 300,000. Yung iba na ipamigay na, yung iba hindi pa. Ongoing and in process pa ang mga documentations. Ito'y tulong natin sa mga indigent na mga members natin. For Region 2, a total of Region 2, ma'am, 50,000. For Region 3, ma'am, for DOH, itong DOH pala is ito yung mga hospitals na binibigyan ng pundo ng CNPL para kung may mga membro tayo na medyo nagkasakit, nagkakaproblema sa sa billings ng mga hospital, pwede natin kukunin dito ng mga pundo. Sa Region 3, we have 200,000. Please take note of the hospitals. Yung iba baka may mga kamag-anak diyan, mga membro natin na nagkasakit. Kung kulang ang pangbayad sa mga itong mga hospitals, these are all government hospitals. Pwede natin puntahan doon yung mga leaders natin para maasikaso yung paglabas at saka billing ng ating mga miyembro. For Region 4A, 50,000. Next, ma'am. For Region 5, please take note of the hospitals. Region 5, total o yung total, ma'am, itaas konti. Yung total for Region 5, hindi pa makita, ma'am. Please itaas yung slides konti.
It's 400,000.
Anyway,
It's 400,000.
400,000 for Region 5. Next, for Region 6, ma'am, please continue. For Region 6, sorry, hindi ko makita. Ma'am, ilan yun, ma'am?
750.
750. Yes, for Region 7. Region 7, how much, ma'am?
450.
450. Yeah, kaya iniisa-isa ko ito para makita ninyo ang mga hospitals na involved dito. Yung Region 8, ilan, ma'am?
400,000.
400,000. For Region 9,
1.5 million.
1.5 million.
Yes,
Yung Region 10, ma'am?
1.5 million.
Then, ilan, ma'am?
1.5 million. 1.5 million.
1.5 million. Ang Region 11,
500,000.
hindi ko makita dito sa screen.
500,000.
500,000. For Region 12, yan, 450,000. Region 13,
350,000.
350,000. Yes. For Caraga, next CAR, ito sa Cordillera Administrative Region, ilan, ma'am?
400,000.
Please take note of the hospitals. Sa NCR, may 250,000. Dahil itong mga dagdag na lang ito kasi dahil sa initiative at mga initiative ni Congressman, nakadagdag pa tayo dito sa ibang regions. Kaya yun ang sa DOH. Dito naman sa Department of Labor and Employment, ito ang binibigay natin sa assistant for emergency emergency work para sa ating mga trabahante na na-displace. For Region 1, 1.7, 350 for Region 2. So on and so forth, or a total of
17 million.
17 million for Dolly. Some of these were already implemented and some are ongoing. Yung iba hindi pa, pinaprocess pa ang mga documents. So meron din tayong sa DSWD. Itong DSWD, dito yung financial assistance din. Yung sa amin, halimbawa dito sa Region 10, binibigay namin doon sa mga COVID victims, yung mga calamity victims, yung nagka-problema talaga ng mga membro natin dahil dito sa pandemic. We are now on the process sa pagbibigay nito through DSWD. The total of this is magkano yun, ma'am?
8 million.
8 million.
8 million.
Yes, 8 million. So, next projects, yung sinasabi kanina ni Ma'am Luz at saka ni BP Budoy, yung sa TESDA natin. Ngayon, this is, in a way, this is the first time, no? First time natin na nakita itong mga figures because the previous congressmen, hindi natin nakikita ito. Now, because of trust natin ngayon is transparency, pinapakita natin sa inyo para naman for your appreciation at saka baka makakatulong din sa mga membro ninyo. So, itong TESDA, first time ito na we were able to avail of the itong trainings from TESDA specifically for cooperative development. Halimbawa, dito sa cooperative development and management seminars level 4, yung sinasabi ni Sir Budoy, this is now in the MASPEC dito sa Mindanao. Doon naman sa Visayas, sa Victo, no? So sa Luzon meron din. So ito yun din ang mga projects natin, no? Na yung iba na-implement na, yung iba hindi pa. Halimbawa, dito sa construction, number 1, dito sa, doon muna ma'am, pakibalik ma'am. Construction, implementation, multipurpose building, Aluran, Misamis Occidental, 3 million. This is already ongoing. Itong hindi ito, halo-halo ito for different regions, but as you can see, transparent tayo na nakikita ng ating mga membro at saka mga kasama natin sa kooperatiba kung saan napunta ang mga itong allocation, congressional allocation ng ating congressman. Next next slide, ma'am. Itong construction multipurpose building, marami ito. This is about 42 projects. I think this is 42 projects. This is being implemented by DPWH. Siguro may sa San Dionisio dito, 'di ba? 10 million. Meron ding sa ito, San Dionisio, 10 million ang NCR. Merong 3 million sa MASPEC, construction completion. So siguro before parang hindi gaano accounted itong mga projects na ito, but in the administration of Congressman Kanama, these are all accounted, and these are all now in the part of the auditing procedure of our auditor. Now, kaya sa amin, as I said, this is a new introduction of the new phase of COOP NATCCO party list. As I said, hindi na kami patumpik-tumpik. We would like to ask the support of all cooperative sectors for COOP NATCCO party list. Thank you. Mr. President, thank you.
Salamat, VP Manzano. At ladies and gentlemen, my fellow co-op leaders, this is for presentation. We have given you a run through and a presentation of our legislative efforts, non-legislative efforts, and of course the projects and programs funded by the allocated funds to every congressman. Kung ano ang meron po yung mga district congressman, ganun din po sa ating representative. Ang problema lang po natin, we cover the whole of the Philippines. Ang district congressman, dun lang, limited lang sa distrito. Kaya mas malaki po ang naibibigay ng ating mga district congressman. If we will get seats in the 2022 election, that would be something big, and I think it's going to assist more cooperatives. So with that, maraming salamat po at magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. So back sa PCC.
Thank you. Thank you, President Alex. Vice President Budoy de la Cruz, Vice President Luz Arinco, and Vice President Engineer Rom Manzano. Marami pong puso para sa COOP NATCCO party list. Pusuan po natin. Yan. Bago po tayo magkaroon ng open discussion, gaya po ng sinabi natin kanina, nakita po natin yung pagpapaliwanag ng ating National President sa COOP NATCCO party list at yung mga Vice President. Pinakita ni President Alex yung kabuuan ng COOP NATCCO, ano ang kanyang principles, ano yung kanyang vision, ano yung kanyang structure, yung kanyang history sa electoral engagement, at marami pang iba. Pati yung paninindigan ng COOP NATCCO party list to truly represent the sector doon sa Kongreso. At pinakita naman ni Vice President Luz Arinco ano yung ginawa ng COOP NATCCO party list doon sa mga naging engagement nito sa mga national government agencies and government financial institutions. At saksi po tayo kasama ng mga manonood pa nitong live stream na ito ng COOP NATCCO party list COOP vote orientation na may kinalaman po doon sa naging ambag ng COOP NATCCO party list doon sa mga ahensya na pinakita kanina ni Vice President Luz Arinco. At hindi po matatawaran din na patuloy yung engagement mo sa mga national government agencies, ipinakita naman ng ating Vice President for Luzon, Sir Budoy de la Cruz, yung kahalagahan ng legislative work. At 5 mga importanteng batas yung naipasa ng COOP NATCCO party list na sila yung isa sa pinaka-major author, and actually yung ibang panukalang batas na naging batas ay in-author talaga ng COOP NATCCO. At meron pang mga nakasalang na mga bills na kung sakali man na hindi maipasa ngayong 18th Congress, with the help ng mga cooperative leaders and members na patuloy na naniniwala sa COOP NATCCO party list, ay mailusot ito sa 19th Congress. Sa pakikipagtulungan, of course, doon sa kanyang kapatid o counterpart sa Senate na sila Senator Zubiri at yung kanya pong mga committee members nito, kagaya nila Ma'am Risa Tiberos, nila Wing Gatchalian at marami pa hong iba. And lastly, at ito po yung napaka-importante sa report ni Engineer Manzano. Nakita po ninyo na bagamat wala na pong pork barrel at ang tawag po rito ay line items budget pagdating sa Congress, ipinakita po ng Co-op NATCO Party List saan napupunta yung supposedly allotted sa Co-op NATCO Party List. At napakaraming ahensya po, no? Yung naging partner ng Co-op NATCO Party List, from Department of Health hanggang sa Department of Public Works and Highways, DSWD, DOLE, TESDA, DA at marami pa hong iba. At doon naka-enumerate, no? Pinakita mismo ni Engineer Manzano na ito yung napuntahan at ito yung pinaglaanan, no, ng pondo ng Co-op NATCO Party List para sa pagserbisyo sa mga miyembro ng kooperatiba na miyembro ng Co-op NATCO o kahit hindi miyembro ng Co-op NATCO. Diyan ngayon nasasalamin yung tunay na representasyon. Kaya po kanina dun sa pagpapaliwanag ni President Alex, importante na naiintindihan ng mga miyembro natin sino tayo. Meron tayong captured votes eh. Baka kailangan halukayin yung captured votes na yon, hanapin yung captured votes na yon, we reach out sa kanila, ipakita uli ito, nang sa gayon, yung 2011, yung 1998 na representation ng Co-op NATCO Party List hanggang 2019 ay dapat itaas. Hindi lang isang seat, hindi lamang dalawa, gawin 3. Hindi lamang ngayon na wala tayo sa 2% kaya tayo nakakuha ng isang seat is because kailangan fill upan yung 63 party list representation o yung 20% na sinasabi ng batas. Pero this time, yung captured votes na sinasabi ni President Alex, kailangan ma-realize. Kailangan ma-realize this 2022 election. Having said that, ang ating pong room ay bubuksan natin para po sa mga open discussions. Pero kung ready po muna to capture yung lahat ng mga presentations, can we present yung audio-visual presentation ng Co-op NATCO Party List? Thank you. So panoorin po muna natin para sa open discussion, bago po open discussion.
The Cooperative NATCO Party, or Co-op NATCO, is a party list in the Philippines which serves as the electoral wing of the National Confederation of Cooperatives, or NATCO. Co-op NATCO has continued to win a seat in Congress in the succeeding party list elections. Co-op NATCO Party List was created through the initiative of NATCO leaders who viewed the party list system as an opportunity to go beyond mere dependence on traditional politicians to push forward the cooperative's legislative agenda. They recognized that active participation in the implementation of laws and government policies was necessary to ensure that the desired results for cooperative growth and development would be achieved. The Co-op NATCO Party List is envisioned to be a dynamic party list empowering cooperative communities. This new vision statement of the party was crafted to suit the present-day needs and aspirations of co-op leaders and communities in the Philippines. As of March 2020, CNPL membership have reached more than 800 cooperative affiliates from all over the Philippines. Co-op NATCO Party List mission is to ensure active participation from member affiliates, continuous development and mainstreaming of CNPL officers and leaders, formulate and craft laws that protect the rights and privileges of cooperatives and be partners with the government in countryside development, partnership with civil society organizations, non-government organizations, and other stakeholders in the pursuit of cooperativism and cooperative development. Party have facilitated assistance to aid cooperatives and its individual members in the following programs. The COOP NATCCO Party List vows to continuously accomplish its commitment for the cooperative sector it represents and for the country. This is your COOP NATCCO Party List, ang tinig ng kooperatiba.
Thank you. Virtual applause po para sa COOP NATCCO. Thank you very much sa pag-sum up, no? Nung sa pamamagitan ng video na yon. So, magkakaroon po tayo ng open discussion para po sa susunod na 20 minuto o kung kaya pa ma-extend. Unahin na po natin, no? Ang unang dalawang nagtaas ng kamay. Si Sir Ronald, okay, si Sir Ronald po muna. Sir Ronald, please proceed po.
Yes, sir. Kasi maganda ho yung presentation at congrats po sa NATCCO Party List. Binabanggit kanina ni Pres Alex yung captured boats. Kami kasi nasa transport kami, transport services. And ang isa po na isang problema namin dito ay yung iisa po yung batas ng Traffic Code of the Philippines. Now, nagkakaroon po ng mga iba't ibang ordinances sa province, sa municipalities, pati mga barangay ngayon po ay may mga ordinances single sa traffic. Kasi regional po kasi yung aming area of operations. Now, nabanggit din kanina yung party building. So, ang tanong ko lang po, meron bang strategy ngayon ang party list natin para doon sa yung party building kasi, yung pagbubuo doon sa grassroots para ma-address naman yung mga ganitong setup o problema namin sa transport. Kasi magkakaiba ho yung mga ordinances from barangay, city, municipality, province na bumabangga doon sa national law na Traffic Code of the Philippines. Yan po ang tanong.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Ronald. So this is about strategy at the grassroots. Dahil po tayo ay live on Facebook at ang concern naman po ay paano po yung sa transport issues lalo na sa grassroots. Press Alex, maybe we can reach out dun sa mga sectors ng transport service cooperatives na primarily siguro hindi pa kilala yung CNPL o kung kilala man, baka pwede ito yung panahon para masagot yan.
Yes, Edwin, maraming salamat. Actually, nag-attend ang aming Vice President ng Visayas, si Ma'am Luz, at saka si Engineer Manzano, Vice President for Mindanao, doon sa latest na Transport Congress or Transport Forum that was held in Cebu City. I think that was last month, if I'm not mistaken. And we have informed and communicated to our brothers na transport cooperatives that they can join us anytime. We have provided them the necessary requirements in joining COOP NATCCO Party List, and that would be a start of something big for the transport co-op. Now, yung concern ni Robert kanina is more of a legislative matter that should craft a law that will unify all the interpretation of the barangay, the municipality, the city and the province relative to rules and regulation that are subjected to our transport cooperatives. Kaya it's a big task. It's a big task, but I think we can do something about it. Maybe Engineer Manzano can help me expound on this. He is our transport guy. He has been attending many transport meetings relative to this. Maybe BP Manzano, can you substantiate my answer, please?
Thank you, Sir Alex. Actually, I am not a I am not even a member of a transport cooperative, but since I was tasked by our president and I was tasked also by our congressman to lead a committee in the CNPL to answer or to help the transport cooperative. And there are many problems because, you know, transport cooperative has not been touched by any party list before because kaya yung problema nila accumulate kaya but early last year until now, we've been working for a transport cooperative. Now, ito ang pinaka magandang nangyari sa transport cooperative through COOP NATCCO party list. First is we were able to reach LTFRB, we'll be able to reach the as mga initial discussions, the yung transport yung cooperative transport office, we'll be able to reach DOTR because of the presence of our congressman and initial discussions were made in order to give directions to what is really for the transport sector. Now, in fact, next week, I was already informed that there will be a GCOCC meeting headed by Senator Mig Subiri and Senator and Congressman the chairman, I forgot the chairman of the Presley Disos, sorry. Presley Disos. Now, this was triggered because of our continuous dialogue and continuous gathering of information as to the problems of the transport from the legal problems doon sa local government nila hanggang doon sa financial hanggang doon sa mga trainings and seminars. These are all being nakuha na namin kaya dapat we will be able to discuss this in the GCOCC. By the way, baka hindi na kuha ni Sir Ronald, itong GCOCC, this is a Joint Congressional Oversight Committee na tinitingnan yung mga batas para sa kooperatiba para i-harmonize doon sa situation natin ngayon. And secondly, yung bagong pangyayari, alam namin ngayon maraming kooperatiba na transport cooperative na hindi nabayaran doon sa libreng sakay program. Now, the CNPL has already sent a resolution to Chairman Delgra para matulungan tayo dito sa mga utang ng LTFRB at DOTR sa libreng sakay. And we were promised, the congressman were promised by Chairman Delgra na the soonest siguro, if not this month, next month, they will be paid. So, ganun ang pakikitungo natin, our relationship ngayon sa transport cooperative. The National Transport Cooperative Federation, National Federation of Transport Cooperative, nag-apply na sa atin for membership at marami na ring mga transport primaries, transport service cooperative primaries nag-apply for a membership sa COOP NATCCO party list. Mr. Pres,
Salamat.
okay,
Salamat.
thank you.
Gusto ko
Bago
lang
po
idagdag
ano,
na I think it will be a special sector that COOP NATCCO party list will assist yung transport. Talaga they all need the assistance of our co-op leaders entire the Philippines. Especially now that they are affected, really affected by this pandemic. Hindi sila talaga nabawasan ng malaking halaga ang kanilang kinikita bawat araw. So I think this is something that should be priority of COOP NATCCO party list in the remaining Congress and in the succeeding Congresses that will come. Edwin, salamat.
Yes.
Ronald, salamat.
Thank you po, Sir Ronald. Thank
may
you,
follow-up,
President
may
Alex.
follow-up,
Yes, sir.
Edwin.
Before, sir, yung follow-up, dagdag lang po to sa paliwanag ni Engineer. May we inform you po no, na sila President Alex po, sorry, hindi po ito yung, sila President Alex po at iba pang mga leader sa United Cooperative Movement ay nagpasa po ng position paper para po doon sa Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program. Na-receive na po ito. Ang mga signatories po rito yung UCMP. No? Pakita ko na lamang po. So, mabilis para po doon sa kaalaman din ng ating mga leaders. 8 issues po yung binanggit dito. Route rationalization, favoring bus companies, consolidation of routes and development of new routes, yung pong programa ng Land Bank at saka DBP na medyo matagal yung application ng approval, preferential treatment for cooperatives, taxes and other fees, cooperative insurance to be accredited by LTFRB, hopefully capacity building and training, stimulus package, ito po yung binabanggit kanina na yung mga hindi nabayaran na maayos dun sa kanilang libreng sakay program, Committee for Monitoring the Implementation of Transport Service Cooperative. Ang lahat pong ito ay mula po dun sa konsultasyon no, na ginawa po ng CNPL na tumulong po ang PCC at ang iba pa hong mga cooperatives, national federations and unions. So ang mga signatories po nito ay ang sumusunod. No? And by the way, Press Alex, siguro let's pause for 5 seconds or 5 seconds dahil ang Secretary General po ng National Federation of Transport Cooperatives, si Manong Big Balaw ay pumanaw na at very active po siya no, sa COOP NATCCO. In fact, siya nga po rin po yung nanguna na nagkampanya para mag-file ng bill ang COOP NATCCO for the institutionalization ng PUB Modernization Program. So 5 seconds lang po muna. Thank you for that silence po. So ito po yung mga signatories, no? Si PCC po, NCDC, LCDOP, ayun po ang CNPL, si President Alex, at saka po yung chairperson ng National Federation of Transport Cooperatives, si Manong Jack. At yung mga mga signatories po ng mga transport cooperatives na sumama po rito. Copy furnish po lahat ng mga government agencies. Okay, back to you, Sir Alex.
Maraming salamat, Edwin. I think that is already the best action that we can do at this point. That will be tackled in the JCOCC, Joint Congressional Oversight Committee of Senate and Congress. Kaya meron nang nakaset, sabi ni Engineer Manzano kanina. And I think the National Federation of Transport Cooperatives are invited to attend that. So, po may lalahad at ilahad na rin po sa ating sulat ang mga ating mga adhikain at concerns, and I hope we will address that immediately. Maraming salamat po.
Okay po.
So back to you.
Yes, sir. May follow-up question po si Sir Ronald and then si Sir Gary po. Sige po. Sir Ronald, after you, sir.
Yes, sir, thank you po. Ang point lang kasi namin po, kasi kaya magkakaiba yung mga ordinances per municipalities and provinces. Ito ho yung isa sa nanghahati ng boto ng transport sector. Kaya yung point ko kanina, yung captured votes sa transport sector, lalo na sa amin, magkakaiba yung mga barangays, magkakaiba yung mga municipalities rules. So, umaray nga ako kanina dahil isa ako sa mga yung hindi nakasuporta nung last election dahil nga sa ganitong paraan. Kasi dito sa area po namin, yung mga congressman and several nakikita na rin yung pagkakaisa ng mga cooperative at talagang hinahati nila yung mga boto ng mga cooperative. At isa ito sa mga paraan. Now, yung question ko kanina, meron po ba tayong strategy para mag-organize naman po ng grassroots at the level ng lokal yung party list? Para ho, pwede namang lumahok sa barangay or a municipality election.
Actually, meron po. Meron po tayong ginagawang organizing at the municipal level, at municipal levels. We are doing that presently and we will be more active in the succeeding months to go. It is our one way of addressing one of our major moves, which is to have presence in all the local government units in the Philippines. We will have, and we will share that to you, Ronald. Don't worry. We cannot share it to you now, but we will definitely have grassroots organization and strategies that would propel better votes in the localities. We will share you that soon. Thank you.
Mr. Press.
Yes.
Thank you po.
Can the VP for Luzon have his contact number for initial talks with Sir Ronald? Yes.
Siguro VP Budoy. Si Ronald ba dito sa Luzon? Luzon siya?
Luzon po, sir.
Okay.
Our Cavite ngayon, naging speaker po namin kayo sa Gender and Development.
Okay. Sige po. Salamat, Ronald. You can connect with our VP for Luzon in that regard. Back to you, Edwin. Back to you.
Thank you po, Sir Ronald. It's a good opportunity po na magkaroon po tayo ng connection sa party, sa COOP NATCCO, and precisely parang masaya po yung expression ng ating National President dahil kayo po ay nagkaroon ng interest para makipag-ugnayan pa na mas malalim sa CNPL. Okay, Sir Gary, are you now? Okay, Sir Gary, please proceed.
Yes, thank you, Edwin. Gusto ko sanang i-address ito kay BFF Alex.
Okay, sige.
Lex, curious lang ako to find out kung na-consider at all ng CNPL na mag-commission, let's say, ng isang independent survey. In other words, a third-party survey para ma-feel natin yung, hindi ma-feel, kundi ma-assess natin yung overall winnability ng CNPL in particular, but the party list groups as a general rule, no? Kasi where I'm coming from is may mga accomplishments tayong na-cite, no? On one hand, sa kabilang banda, may mga concerns na nare-recognize tayo as a whole and in select areas. So baka lang kako, if it will not be too taxing for us financially, baka pwede nating ma-consider. Kasi lalo na if it's a structured survey, magkaroon man lang tayo ng parang empirical basis for our action programs, no? Kasi di
Salamat.
ba? I mean minsan minsan I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, but parang minsan gut feel tayo no? So at meron naman tayong basis tulad ng halimbawa yung mga pinako-conduct ng mga individual candidates na kahit papaano mukhang may nakikita tayong use para sa kanila na minsan hindi nalalayo yung results ng mga surveys dun sa actual results come election time. So baka lang kako, while we still have time, if we can at all consider, yun nga, mag-commission ng isang kahit isa lang munang isa lang munang survey para 'di ba? Although alam ko nagko-conduct ang MASPEC, no? Nakatanggap ako ng isang survey coming from MASPEC. Yeah, I think it's MASPEC. I'm not so sure kung yun ay limited sa mga chairpersons ng iba't ibang co-ops. And that's fine. At least mafe-feel natin yung pulse ng mga co-op leaders in the person of the different chairpersons. Pero yung ordinary voter, whether he or she be a co-op member or a non-cooperative member, baka magandang ma-consider natin. Baka makatulong lang. Ewan ko kung may sense, no? Pero just a thought that crossed my mind base dun sa mga sa presentation ninyo at saka sa mga tanong ng ilan sa ating mga kasama rito.
Okay.
Yun lang, just an idea, Lex.
Yeah, maraming salamat, BFF Gary. You're right. I think we are in the same mindset with the leaders of COOP NATCCO party list. Actually, we have commissioned MASPEC on two fronts. One survey for existing members.
Okay.
And another survey for non-members. So yun na lang muna kami.
Good. So non-members.
Non-members. So we're more interested on the non-members. We see no bias when it comes to our non-members. Pero yung members may siguro konting bias. I'm not preempting the results, but it's going to be an exciting result because we will compare what our members look at us and what the non-members look at us, and we will share the result of such survey once it is completed. And I definitely agree with you. Moves and actions and projected activity should always be supported by empirical data so that we can really pinpoint accurately on what we should do as COOP NATCCO party list. Sabi nga namin, focus ang pan namin ngayon, focus not sporadic. Kasi mas malaki yung gastos namin sa sporadic Yung pupunta ka sa isang bayan, mag-microphone ka, mag-jeep ka, going to and from. Compared to focus sa ating mga kooperatiba, because this is where we get our vote.
Okay.
Nothing more, nothing less. We cannot get votes from outside our cooperatives except the families of members. So yun. So hopefully it will redound to that, but I don't know how far it would go if there will be some members that will be interviewed by the research group of MASPEC. Okay. It's headed by si Romy.
Okay. Pahabol na lang, isang pahabol lang, Lex, baka nakalimutan ko lang sabihin. Baka to some extent we can zero in on those select areas na nagkaroon ng initiation ng projects ang CNPL. Yeah. Tulad ng mga na-cite nyo kanina, so that we can more or less relate, 'di ba? Yung yung existence ng projects na ito dun sa pulse ng mga potential voters in the area.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, yun lang.
Salamat.
Yun lang, Lex. Okay.
Talaga, you're helping us. You're now putting out or bringing out your expertise on research, BFF Gary. Thank you. Thank you.
If we can do this also for the other party list groups, I'm not being biased to CNPL.
Yeah. Medyo mahal lang talaga, Gary. Mahal ang survey.
Okay.
Especially if you do this nationwide. Super mahal. And
Kaya nga mag-random lang tayo, mag-random.
Salamat.
Okay, sige,
Mr.
Alex.
Pres,
Thank you, sir, no, dun sa dalawang suggestion. Okay po, Engineer Manzano, please proceed.
if I may add, Sir Edwin, doon sa sinabi ni Pres Alex, meron din kaming ginawa ngayon na numerical data. We would like to know which provinces or islands na mas mahal o kaya mas mura ang boto. Kasi hindi natin makaila na
Tama.
itong eleksyon may gastos talaga.
Tama.
Now, if we can have a vote na maraming boto na mas mura, doon ang focus at concentration natin. I think we have 2-year data with this. We can use this data so that para medyo alam natin kung saan, one way of knowing kung saan ang ating pinaka-concentration, mag-concentrate sa campaign. Thank you.
Salamat.
Thank you for that elaboration, Engineer Manzano. Yes, Pres Alex.
May dadagdag lang ako, and we would like to be very, very transparent. Ang cost per vote in 2019 ng COOP NATCCO party list is 93 pesos. 93 pesos ang cost per vote. Kaya medyo marami kaming inadequacies and difficulties kasi maraming cost na involved sa maraming lugar na wala namang kaming nakuhang boto. Yun ang problema eh. Kaya it's a very big lesson for us to remember for the 2022 election. So thank you, Edwin.
Okay po. To continue the discussion, actually tiningnan po natin yung doon sa website ng COMELEC. Makikita po natin doon yung COOP NATCCO party list. Ano pong mga regions yung talagang nakapag-deliver ng votes. So, doon sa mga regions na yon, at ikakabit po natin yung suggestion ni Sir Gary regarding doon sa mga CNPL areas na nagkaroon ng projects that would help further yung ating assessment what would be the chances of converting yung awareness, kasi being aware is one, but converting it or converting that awareness to a vote is another thing. Kaya importante po yan na tingnan rin natin as we go along doon sa ating journey. Particularly, we have several months leading to May, kaya marami pa akong pagkakataon. Yan, maganda po yung mga discussion na lumalabas sa ngayon. And anyone else na gusto pong magpahayag ng kanilang opinions, views, recommendations aside from the discussion na bringing up o na brought up ng ating mga speakers and reactors. Yes, sir.
At this point, I would like to, with the permission of PCC, Edwin, si BFF Gary, and the rest of the PCC leadership, I would like to introduce our nominees for 2022 election. You have heard the statement made by BP Luz Irinco of Visayas a while back that our good congressman, Representative Ben Canama, has made a major, very humble and heroic act of not accepting a third term after we have amended our constitution and bylaws. And with that, the cyclical nomination process again recognized, and ang number one nominee for 2022 election will come from the Visayas. Number 2 will come from Luzon. Number 3 will come from Mindanao. And I am happy to introduce them to you now, ladies and gentlemen. As the party president of NATCCO Party List, I am proud to announce that our first nominee for the 2022 national election is no less than Limon Espares, Chief Executive Officer of Barbasa Co-op in Antique. If he is in the room, kindly unmute yourself and speak. Emon, please introduce yourself and give your one cent thought of what we do in what we will do in 2022. So,
Can I be heard, Party Press?
yes, you're heard loud and clear.
Sorry, dahil sa labas ako ngayon, then I have a meeting with the mayor, certain mayor here in one town in Iloilo. So sorry talaga, hindi ako nakapag-join from the very beginning. So it's too timely na nasa labas na ako ngayon ng munisipyo. Of course, thank you very much, Party Press, for introducing us, and then for the information of the COOP leaders all over the country, that what you have mentioned, the first nominee is now coming from the Visayas as a result of our the cyclical practice of the party. So meaning to say that everybody really given a chance, and unexpectedly suppose from the previous arrangement, if our own Congressman Kong Ben really take that chance, the offer of the party to continue the term, suppose we are on the second, but then just because Kong Ben really sacrifices himself for the good of the party, so that's why hindi niya tinuloy yung ika-third term niya, na napagbigyan ng Visayas as the first right now and the Luzon. And I know we are, or the COOP leaders are now happy of the situations, and that's the result of the decision of some of our leaders na hindi naman ganun talaga lahat na leaders na parang sabi niya parang may greed on such opportunities. So we are thankful to that. So again, thank you very much sa lahat ng mga leaders na nag-attend, and then I know with the facilitation of the PCC right now, marami naman yung mga leaders natin daw we will be informed, and then should have a good choice and education how the party list will be voted. And of course, this is purely COOP NATCCO team who are now discussing in the room. So I know this is a focused discussion, and everybody will be given chance really to be enlightened of the enlightened rather of the party. So those who are new. So again, thank you very much. And then nabanggit naman siguro lahat yung mga platform kanina, but then as part of my input also is that always work in the ground. So tayo talaga na mga yung staff, officers should really take lead on this. So ibig sabihin na pag walang staff, pag walang officers na magtrabaho dito, mahirapan talaga si party list ng ating COOP NATCCO. So as what we practice also in our area, lahat talaga obligation ng ating staff, kasi hindi ka pwede ma-exempt dito dahil nobody really will work and help for the cooperatives. First of all, of course, it's the primary obligation of our staff and officers to ensure that the representation of the cooperative in the Congress to continue its advocacy and its development and protection will be supported and worked by the people in the ground, tayong mga staff. So kaya baka may inventory na tayo ng lahat ng ating mga staff, kahit mag-commit man lang within the family of minimum of 5 or 10, multiply the number of staff of the cooperative under COOP NATCCO party list, might be we can count now our strength, no? So diyan talaga mag-umpisa, then yung mga sa members natin and then sa community, mga bonus na lang yun as part of the effort of the party. So siguraduhin talaga natin na yung officers and staff natin may walang tawag diyan, walang exemptions, no? Dapat mag-commit talaga, otherwise walang silbi din na we are talking more of this COOP NATCCO party list to others na in fact yung mga nandyan sa loob ay hindi maramdaman, no? So yun lang, Party Press, ang aking mungkahi rin dito, kasi alam naman natin that's very effective, and from what we have started na mga strategy natin, yung catching fire, yung start from within, from yourself, so very effective talaga, and it was tested, at saka hindi talaga mabili ng pera plus walang gastos if that is our strategy. Okay, so thank you with that, and we hope we could make what we have started. Thank you.
Salamat. Salamat, Imon. At ingat ka dyan sa Iloilo. Now I call our second nominee, presenting Luzon. She is Dr. Divine Kemi, CEO of the Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives in Vigan City. So Divine, please.
Good afternoon, Press Alex. Thank you so much. Chair Gary, good afternoon. Our able CEO. Salamat. Our able CEO of PCC, Sir Edwin, the BP of Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, BP, my friend Bodoy, BP Mamlos, BP Sir Engineer Manzano, cooperative leaders Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Maayong buntag sa inyong tanan. In Ilocano po, naimbag nga malemyo amin. Magandang hapon. Nakita ko po sa attendance kanina, it's overwhelming cooperative leaders, so is attending both webinar. Kaninang umaga, umabot tayo ng 270. Kaninang nagsimula, 270. At maraming nagpapaalam. Well, we understand about it because ang maganda rito, kahit na we're talking about politics, ay interesado pa rin tayo at umaapaw yung mga feelings po natin na talagang gusto natin iparamdam sa ating sektor na talagang kailangan natin magkaroon ng isang boses para makamit natin ang ating hinahangad ng representasyon sa Kongreso. Nasabi na kanina sa first nominee natin, strategies and how we can gather votes. Ako lang po, yung ramdam natin na magaan, masaya tayo na nakikipag-ugnayan sa COOP NATCCO party list ay napakahalaga na makakuha pa tayo ng iba't ibang mga supporters natin sa ating mga miyembro, sa ating mga kapwa-opisyales, sa ating mga kapwa-kapamilya, sa ating bahay. Alam ko po naman na nasa DNA na natin, nasa dugo na natin ang kooperatiba. Minsan nga, minsan talagang mas importante pa na makapag-attend ng meeting sa ating sektor kaysa minsan makipag-meeting ng ating mga other activities ng ating pamilya, dahil ang iniisip natin is kung paano natin mapalago ang kabuhayan ng bawat isa sa atin. Iniisip natin na paano tayo makagawa ng mga kabutihan para sa ating kapwa. At nakikita po natin na ito ang ipinaparamdam natin ng bawat isa sa atin. At sa COOP NATCCO party list,
No.
sabi ko nga sa acronym ng CNPL, Co-op NATCCO never lost its promise to lobby in Congress for its purpose of existence. Na? So, ginagawa lahat ng Co-op NATCCO party list ng mga sinasuggest, nakukuha natin sa mga consultations na mga i-enhance ang batas natin, i-enhance ang ating pakikipag-ugnayan sa mga national government agencies, strengthening of our partnership, maipakita sa ating gobyerno na tayo na kooperatiba, na totoong kooperatiba ay talagang pagkakatiwalaan para sa mga magagandang mga proyekto na tayong magiging partnership nila. Yung mga engagement natin ay nakikita at gusto pa natin ilaganap sana. At maganda yung sinabi ni Sir Ronald kanina na dapat hanggang sa barangay level. So, tama naman po na dapat kinakailangan natin ang sabi nga natin ang pinakamaliit na communities in our family and our family to the barangay level, barangay to municipal. Ito naman talaga ang gusto natin mangyari sa kooperatiba. So with your support, with our support, with the COOP NATCCO party list, marami pa po tayong gagawin. Nakasalalay po sa inyo ang ating tagumpay for 2022. Nakasalalay po sa inyo ang ating tagumpay para mapalakas pa ang sektor ng kooperatiba. So sana po hindi tayo bibitiw sa lahat ng mga pagsubok, lalong-lalo na ngayong itong binigay ng COVID-19 na pandemya, lalo na po sa transport sector. Nararamdaman po namin kung gaano kahirap kasi ang daming kaming ding mga members na nagtra-tricycle. Ngayon pinag-uusapan ang magiging ECQ within our area. So parang iniisip na naman natin paano mabubuhay ang ating mga daily earners sa kanilang pamamagitan na sa kanilang mga livelihood. So ito yung mga iniisip palagi natin sa kooperatiba kung paano tayo magtulungan. So again po, maraming salamat sa sakripisyo sa pag-attend ninyo nito. No? Sa totoo lang po naman kung hindi tayo, if we are not really indulge ourselves in the cooperative sector, what is in it for me about the co-op vote? So alam ko po, ramdam ninyo kung paano po tayo magtulungan. Kayo pong instrumento para makamit po natin ang tagumpay ng ating inaasahan sa cooperative movement. So muli po, ako po si Divina Cabunok. Ako po si Divina Corrales Cabunok. Kemi ang asawa ng ang apelyado ng aking asawa at yun din ang ginagamit ko. Ako po ay talagang purong-puro na Ilocano at nasa sektor na po mula po 1989. Pumasok na po ako upon graduation 1989 with the Charitable Institution of the Archdiocese hanggang nabuo po ang Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives at hanggang po ngayon ay nakipagtulungan po pa rin ako sa Archdiocese of Nueva Segovia. So muli po sa inyong lahat, magandang hapon na imbag ng malem tayo. Amin. At salamat po PCC, Sir Gary, Sir Edwin sa pag-organize po itong co-op vote webinar. Salamat po, saludo po ako sa inyong lahat.
Salamat.
Lalo na kay Diyosa.
Salamat, Divine.
Salamat, Ma'am Marjorie.
Thank you,
Salamat. At ang pangatlo po sa ating nominees ay ang representante ng island ng Mindanao. Siya po ay dating piskal at siya po ang kasalukuyang pangulo o chairperson ng Makilala Cooperative sa Cotabato. Natawagan ko po ngayon si Jose Gerico Guzman. Nung Jo, are you in the house? Hey, are you in the room? Nung Jo. Seemingly wala siya.
Baka nawala ng signal, press.
Wala siya? Wala. Wala. So,
umuulan kasi sa amin.
Oo nga eh.
Sa Mindanao, malakas ulan.
Yan, ayan, nandiyan na siya. Sabi ko nga, nawala ng signal si Judge.
Actually wala siya. Ito yung picture niya, profile picture niya. Siya po, as I have said, is a trial lawyer right now after serving with the government as fiscal. I think he was also judged one time in his law career. He will be representing Mindanao, and never in the history of Co-op NATCCO that we have won these seats. Never. I hope with your support and with our partnership, whether you are a part of Co-op NATCCO or not, we deeply encourage you to help us. If we get 3 votes, it's going to be history for the cooperative sector, not only for Co-op NATCCO party list. We have made almost or hit the 1 million mark in 2010. During that time, ang total membership pa lang ng Co-op is around 7 to 8 million. Ngayon po, ang total membership ng Co-op, correct me Edwin if I am wrong, nasa 13 million na po tayo ngayon. 13 million. Kahit po yung 13 million na yon, kahit na 10% lang po ang makuha natin, 1.3 million. Meron na pong pag-asa yung 3 representative natin ay uupo. Pero despite the efforts nga we have done, we need to really go at the grassroots level na sabi ni Ronald kanina. And we agree with that, and we will use the very meager resources of Co-op NATCCO party list to go touch you, reach you, elbow to elbow with you, and talk about things over a cup of coffee or some bottles of beer so that we can get closer. Hopefully, by that time in 2022, medyo mababa na ang ating mga health restrictions. But whether there will be health restrictions or not, we would really pursue our dream of having 3 seats in Congress. So with that, thank you, Edwin. Thank you, Cheska. Thank you, Gary. And thank you to everyone for giving us this opportunity. Indeed, we are so grateful. Indeed, we are deeply thanking PCC for this effort. Actually, in the history of our participation in the party list, this is the first time. This should be put into record. This is the first time that the Co-op Vote Seminar is organized. And we thank PCC for spearheading this and facilitating this. Maraming salamat po sa ating lahat. Maraming salamat, Gary.
Thank you po, Press Alex. No? So, in 5 minutes po, meron lang po ako i-share na bilang capsulize ng mga naging pag-uusap po natin na hopefully ay makatulong po, no? Lalo na sa cooperative sector. Okay, gaya po ng binanggit kanina ni Sir Alex, President Alex, importante po yung captured votes. Okay, let's make sure of that na mapag-usapan po talaga. One, kailangan po talaga, no, yung binanggit na ko kanina nila Vice President Budoy de la Cruz, at saka yung mga ginawa po, no, ng Co-op NATCCO party list sa government agencies engagement. Meron pong mga nakalista na mga priority legislative agenda. Klaro na po yun. So, naiparating po natin ito ngayon sa ating mga miyembro na nandito sa loob ng Zoom room. At hopefully, no, doon sa Facebook, i-share po natin siya sa ating mga members na pag wala naman pong tapos na sa kanilang trabaho, sa kanilang opisina, they can watch this video para po mas maintindihan po ng mga miyembro natin and even their members, no, family members, makasuporta po. Pangalawa, itong ginagawa po natin ay in-educate po natin yung mass membership. So we need to develop that co-op vote. We need to ensure that captured vote in 2022. Of course, we cannot immediately seize that moment, pero we're in the right track na yung pag-capture po ng vote ay kailangan mapunta po sa COOP. Okay? Ito po, wala po itong gastos mismo sa partido. Ito po ay base sa contribution ng mga federations, primaries, ng miyembro po o naniniwala sa COOP NATCCO party list. Iko-convert lang po ninyo yung inyong leadership into campaign machinery at mag-build po ng electoral campaign committee. Kanina, pinakita po yung 71 provinces and highly urbanized cities. At meron po tayong 27 NDs in island in the 3 islands of the Philippines. Maganda po na makita 'yan. At nabanggit kanina, yung MASPEC ay nagko-conduct na ng kanilang survey. That's an initiative na napaka-importante para kapain yung pakiramdam, yung nasa isip o yung mismong nasa puso ng miyembro. Kung ano man yung nilalaman ng survey na yon. Particularly na may kinalaman po sa party list election at nakaugnay po sa CNPL. Pang-apat, ito po yung pinaka-importante, hindi rin po ito overnight. No? Pinakita po ni President Alex yung datos nung number of votes na nakuha ng COOP NATCCO party list. Ang pinakamataas po nito yung 2010. Pero habang supposedly tumataas siya dapat after 2010, medyo bumaba siya. Siguro dahil marami na rin mga party list na pumasok. Pero kung mapapansin po ninyo, doon din sa pinakitang datos ni President Alex, mukhang 34% po ang nag-participate sa party list election nung nakaraang election. So, at maraming nasayang na boto. At yung iba, mas ang binoboto nga nila, hindi nila ma-distinguish yung district representative, yan na yan. Mas yun ang kilala nila. So, kung tayo ay may miyembro, halimbawa sa Muntinlupa, for example, Muntinlupa, of course may district representative doon. Pero importante na makilala rin nila ang COOP NATCCO party list na pwede nilang iboto doon sa party list election. Ang tawag po dito, one-on-one. Ibig sabihin ng one-on-one from the leadership down sa mga committees, down sa mga members, talaga pong iisa-isahin siya. Nagkataon na pandemic, pero malaki po ang magagawa ng mga leaders, lalo na sa pagkakampanya sa bawat miyembro. I-identify po natin yung mga electoral leaders natin. Alam niyo na po yan, mas kabisado niyo po na ito. Meron po kayong campaign plan at of course, institutionalize yung COOP caucuses at the regional level at saka dun sa mga local level. Whether, ang ibig sabihin po nun, kahit in the absence po ng mga General Assembly, kung meron po kayong patawag na mga board, or committee meetings, or consultations man lamang, isama nyo po ito sa mga magiging pag-uusap. Kasi sigurado po yan na habang naririnig po nila, nagiging aware sila, and eventually po sana yung awareness na yun ma-convert into votes. Ilalaman po ito sa mga ilang suggestions na pwedeng gawin. Of course, yung seminar and trainings na ginagawa po natin ngayon, at magpapatuloy po ito, series na ito, kahit po sa Nobyembre, meron po ulit tayong another round para po ipakilala talaga ang cooperative votes sa mga electorate. Magkakaroon din po ng mga joint conferences, regional conferences, at of course, yung mga General Assembly po ng cooperatives. So let's maximize yung General Assembly ng mga cooperatives. Meron din po kayong Electoral Campaign Committee at marami pa pong iba. Marami po tayong pwede pang gawin. Sa dulo, ang ikatatagumpay nga po, sabi po ni Ma'am Josa Divine Kenny, ang second nominee ng COOP NATCCO party list natin, ay kailangan bumaba po tayo sa grassroots level, sa membership, ipakilala po natin ang party list natin, at mula dun sa pagpapakilala, kailangan maging aware sila na ito yung mga nagawa ng Co-op NATCO Party List. Dahil sa pamamagitan po nito ay mas ma-appreciate nila na ang boto nila ay ibibigay nila sa partido. Yun po ang ating pagtatapos ngayon sa COOP vote orientation, and we would like to thank everyone na nag-stay at nakinig, at hinihikayat po natin muli na i-share itong session na ito sa ating mga miyembro para po sa pagpapatuloy ng ating awareness campaign sa ating mga members. In closing, again, we'd like to request dahil wala na po rin si ang natasan po na magbigay po ng closing remarks dito po sa ating cooperative orientation para sa cooperative vote. Ang kasalukuyan pa rin po na nagsalita na rin po kanina, ang kasalukuyang CEO ng Nueva Segovia at kasalukuyang PCC Director at ang number 2 nominee ng Co-op NATCO Party List. Binibigay po ulit namin sa inyo si Ma'am Divina Josa Kenny. Ma'am Divine?
Thank you, Sir Edwin. So muli po, nakapagsalita na ako kanina at alam ko po ayaw nyo ng mahabaan ng aking salita na. Very much appreciated po ang Philippine Cooperative Center, ang ating magiging tertiary union at ang ating Co-op NATCO Party List po sa pagdalo ninyo sa webinar na ito ng COOP Vote. Sana po panatiliin natin ang ating mga sarili para sa ikakaunlad at magtulungan tayo ng bawat isa. This is not all about politics, but it's about our future, lalong-lalo na yung second generation natin, kung paano natin i-cascade sa kanila ang kahalagahan ng kooperatiba, nasasali sa sinasabi ni Sir Alex kanina, positioning, engagement, partnership with the different government agencies na totoo para sa ikakaunlad ng ating community. Lalong-lalo na sa mga iba't ibang kooperatiba. Alam po naman natin ang kooperatiba ay ugnayan ng nangangailangan ng bawat isa para tayo ay magtulungan. So muli po, salamat po sa inyong lahat. Sa mga area na maulan, sa mga area na may challenge po ng climate ngayon, sana po ay we have to stay safe at ipanalangin po natin na sana ay wala po mangyayari na masama sa atin. So mataas pa po ang COVID-19 cases at sana po ay hindi po tayo maapektuhan itong sakit ng COVID-19. So again, salute po sa inyong lahat. Salamat po sa pag-attend natin sa PCC COOP Vote webinar.
All right. Thank you, Ma'am Josa. Ating po muling ipakita yung ating tatlong nominees sa Co-op NATCO Party List. At habang pong ipapakita po siya sa screen, nais po lang natin sabihin na kanina ay nagpasabi po si Congressman Chris Paez na full support po ang gagawin po nila, particularly ng AgriCo para po sa pagkampanya ng Co-op NATCO Party List. At marami po tayong nakitang messages sa loob ng ating chat room ng pagpapahayag ng suporta at pag-asa doon sa pinapangarap po na magkaroon muli ng representation sa Kongreso ang Co-op NATCO Party List, at hinihikayat nga po na yung sa pangarap na yon, ang tatlo po na leader na nakikita po ninyo ngayon sa inyong screen ay makapasok po sa 19th Congress na gagawin pong eleksyon sa 2022. So ang ating pong first nominee, again, Press Alex, ay si first nominee
Mr. Emon Espares.
Emon Espares.
Okay, Emon Espares. Opo, si Sir Emon ng Barbasa. Multipurpose Cooperatives.
Yes.
At siyempre po ang ating Josa sa kooperatiba. Ang second nominee ay si Ma'am Josa Divine Kemi. At ang pangatlo po na nominee ay si Piskal Manong Jo.
Guzman.
Guzman, okay. So, sila po ang ating mga representatives, nominee representatives na kung papalarin ang COOP NATCCO na makakuha ng 3 seats, ay sila po ang magre-represent. At gaya po ng tagline ng COOP NATCCO, ang tinig ng kooperatiba. Magandang hapon po sa lahat. God bless and thank you sa inyo pong pag-attend. Sabi nga po, on behalf po ng Philippine Cooperative Center, in partnership with COOP NATCCO Party List, maraming salamat po sa lahat at pagpalain po tayo ng Panginoong May Kapal.
Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Sir
Thank you so
Edwin.
much. Thank you so
And
much.
thank you, Sir Gary.
Thank you.
Ingat po tayo lahat.
Thank you.
Congrats in
BFF,
advance.
my friend.
Congrats.
I miss you.
Picture
Congrats in
taking po
advance
tayo.
sa tatlo.
Picture taking. Kanina
taking,
ang dami
open your
natin sa
po.
totoo lang.
Sir Gary, maraming salamat.
Open your video, picture
Ay.
taking.
Dear Gary.
Ang Diyos.
Ay. O,
Shout out po kay Cons.
Sir Gary.
Yes, Diyosa.
Sa mga susunod
Let's be
na
with
ano na
you.
lang ako mag-share.
Yes.
Alright. Sige po, paki-open po yung inyong mga video. Kanina naman po ay nag-ano na. Thank you po no sa LCDOP. Andito po si Ma'am Celia Atienza.
Wala si Alex Nandiyo ba si Alex? Nakala yata.
Sinong Alex, sir?
Si BFF Alex. Nawala.
Congrats. Nawala na siya.
Bali po, marami na po siyang picture.
Eh, nandito pala si Ma'am Ems. Hi, Ma'am Ems.
Hello, Ma'am Josa. Congratulations, ha.
Salamat.
Laklak.
Sana po susuporta talaga tayo, ha.
Oh, Congressman.
The first woman in COOP
Yeah.
NATCCO party list.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
I don't want to
Correct,
mention it.
correct.
Baka magiging gender bias, no? Never that I have a gender bias. Whether
The
man
future
or woman.
Diyosa ng Congress. No?
Ayan.
My
Congressman
BFF,
Josa.
Budoy.
Yes.
Salamat po. Bye-bye po.
Bye-bye. Congrats.
Salamat.
Bye, Ma'am. Bye-bye.
Ay, ang ating mga taga-grassroots.
Yes,
Ang kunyang bayang Cora.
Ma'am, divine.
Ang kunyang bayang Cora. Sige.
The Divine
kampanya
Goddess.
kami.
Well, nagkampanya kayo.
Well, datay patukar tapay
Lagi,
Well,
pag Congresswoman si Ma'am Divine, lagi tayo may
Nakuna na
bagnet.
Nag-Espanyol na
Oh.
kami. Yung tukar ka no, tukar. Ano yung tukar music na ng
din.
COOP NATCCO party
Tukar,
list.
yung
Budoy,
music.
magpadala ka na.
Yung jingle ng nat.
Divine Goddess na nga tawag sa'yo. Kaya Diyosa, Divine Goddess.
Ano ba ito?
Chair. Pag-asa kita, Chair Gary.
Oo naman.
Pag-asa kita.
Padala nyo na.
Bye-bye na. Bye-bye.
Ay, ingat. Ingat po.
Very much po. Ma'am Josa.
Bye, Ma'am.
Bye.
Nandito ako sa bagong hotel natin. I'm here in our new hotel. Oh, look. This is it. Na ano kanina, na-inaugurate kanina. Sandali, kasi hindi ko na kayo ma-tour kasi nakalaptop eh. Yan, this is our new hotel. Casa de Bigan. NATCCO Casa de Bigan. Dito kayo matutulog once na nagpunta kayo nito.
Siyempre.
Patulugin mo dyan si Cardo para dumami ang customer mo.
Problema
galit
dito
sa'yo.
Ayaw ko magsalita, baka naka-FB pa. Bye, sir.
Hindi na po siya naka-livestream.
Ay, hindi na.
Inalis na po nila Ma'am Cheska.